Welcome back to Unstabled, and we are here for the 49th episode. It'll be kind of a depressing one, kind of a doom and gloom, but we're here. I am your ever-present, loyal, and humble host, Jeff Steckel. Got with me, we're the whole crew. We're finally here all together again, one big happy family.
We have to mourn. I think it's important to mourn as a family.
So it's like a funeral instead of a reunion.
This is a funeral. Yes.
It's a funeral. R.I.P. Colts.
R.I.P. 2024.
We got Justin, Kingmaker_DFF. How you doing, man?
What's going on, everybody? Man, just little sad, but everything that we talked about the last show, the things that we needed to stop, all that stuff came true. Not the stopping part, obviously, but all the things that we said they were good at, all the things that they weren't good at, all that stuff was true. But sadly enough, Shane and Gus don't listen to the show.
No. And of course, Alex from over at Chaotically Intolerant. Make sure you go over there, show him some love. He's a busy guy, has a lot of content.
Lots of content.
General sports fan, man. He's got it there for you. How are you doing, man?
I am. Listen, I have been drowning my sorrows. I woke up this morning. The Superman, the first poster came out with the score on it, so that's been what's been distracting me. We bought a Christmas tree today, so I'm just drowning myself in Superman and Christmas, so I don't have to think about the debacle that happened yesterday. The utter, just disgusting, gross, whatever the fuck happened yesterday. I don't want to think about it. I'm not going to think about it for the rest of the week. I'm going to go into Sunday thinking we didn't even play last week. We've had 2 bye weeks.
Yeah.
That's it. Win on Sunday.
Yeah, unfortunately, it kind of ended the season. I mean, I don't know what the percent chances. I know they need
6.
It's like
the Chargers to lose 2 of the next 3, and the Colts would have to win out.
It's completely out of the Colts' hands. Completely.
Yeah. If they win out, they still probably won't make the postseason. But
I hope we don't, because Shane would like, they would be like, oh, bring Shane back. I don't fucking want to win.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Oh, God.
After watching that, this is not a team that you want to see in the playoffs.
No, hell no.
Not at all.
Just beat Jacksonville week 18. Do not get swept by the Jaguars. That's it. For your own pride. Do not get swept by the Jags.
At this point, I'm thinking draft positioning, draft pick.
That's a fair argument, Jeff. I mean, you got to be thinking future. If you know that the numbers say you're not going to make the playoffs, or you're really not going to compete in the playoffs, then instead of going and getting embarrassed there, just make it obvious. Like, hey, we're just going to compete for a draft pick right now.
Yeah.
Give me Joe again. Give me Joe Flacco. Bring him back.
He still needs his reps, man. He still needs his reps.
Joe needs his reps. Yeah.
I got this thing, and it's my embarrassing hat loss.
Yeehaw!
Very, very Texan of me.
Heck yeah, that's the most
Texan
on the
Fancy South show last night for most of it, and then I got irritated with it, but. I'm not a cowboy hat wearing type of guy, but
the only Texan on that show.
German Justin Tomball, and I couldn't resist.
That's awesome.
I like it. Not really. So every time we
work at the game next year,
I'm going to pop this baby on. It'll be a tradition. I hope that doesn't gain too much traction.
Yeah. Let's hope you don't have to wear that often.
Yeah. I feel like I'll be wearing it at least another couple times this year. But, man, as far as losses go this year, this was probably the worst. I mean, not just because of the playoff implications, but just how they lost. It was I texted you guys. I texted this AFC South crew, and I was like, man, this was the best. That first quarter was probably the best quarter of football that the Colts put together. Put together a really good drive, had a turnover. It was just a really solid start to the game. And that was it. And then the wheels fell off, and they were up 13-7 at half, and they lost 31-13. So that kind of just really tells you everything that happened. When I was watching this game, I remembered, I think it was the Matt Ryan year, and there was that Dallas Cowboys game where they were actually competitive in it. They were playing them really hard. Could have even had a chance to win that game. And then Mo Alley Cox just on a regular tackle, ball fumbled, and then the wheels came off.
I thought that started with the Jalen Jones interception that that Saturday didn't throw the challenge flag for, and it was definitely an interception. And then did they score like 31 unanswered in the fourth quarter? It was like disgusting.
Yeah. But it really all kind of started from the Mo Alley Cox fumble. Like that's kind of just where everything just kind of, the landslide started. And it was very similar in this one. Veteran and JT, people are arguing that he still had possession when he crossed the plane. I don't think so. And even if not, you don't do that, dude. You're the veteran, you know better. It was just stupid. Like you would expect something like that from a rookie about to score his first touchdown or something. Like I'd have expected something like that from maybe Adonai Mitchell, not him. It made no sense.
And that's a small thing that you're taught all the way at Little League is secure the ball through the end zone. Like until you touch the back marker of that end zone, that ball's in your hand. Don't get fancy, none of that stuff like that. Because now the dude's a blooper. Like think about that, JT. Like you're a joke today because of what you did yesterday, because you couldn't hold on to the ball for half a yard more and want to celebrate. You had a great run, everything like that, but it didn't mean a thing because you dropped the ball. Just like in one of my favorite movies, The Program. The coach goes up to him. He's like, think about how great that run would have been if you still had the football.
Mm-hmm. And I mean,
that right there changed the momentum, and we lost it from there. We didn't get it back.
Like
the win was out of the sails.
You could make the argument that the touchdown didn't really matter at the end of the game, like the ending score, but they would have been up 20-7, and the entire complexion of the game changes. Like there's no telling if the Broncos go on that run. There's no, we don't. I mean, the point's moot. It doesn't really matter at this point because Jonathan Taylor did fumble it. The rest is history. And it's just funny, Jonathan Taylor, after he showboats, he goes down the sideline. Oh, we're gonna get it back. We're gonna get it back.
Didn't score a point from that point on.
Didn't see a single point.
I mean, that's why I say that was the momentum shift, right? The momentum shift right there.
I'm gonna say this, like that's not on him. I'm sorry, like that. Us not scoring a point the rest of the way, like we fumbled and then we forced the punt, and then we got a pick, and then Shane Steichen calls for a fucking double pass when your offensive line has been struggling. That's what I'm more upset about is the double pass. Taylor, he has done so many great things for us. Like if someone's going to get a pass or at least all right, man, that was stupid. That was really dumb.
Yeah.
We're not going to be angry at you forever. It's Jonathan Taylor.
He's earned it. Exactly.
He sent us to the playoffs in 2020 against Jacksonville. He set a single game franchise rushing record. Remember Buffalo a couple of years ago, 21 against Jacksonville was not his fault. No one was ready. This really stupid thing, you had a whole nother half of football to play, and they fucking quit. And the double pass was that was the point. It was over. And Shane Steichen should have been fired that morning. There was no reason he should have had a job. I don't think any one of us on this panel, and we're morons, any one of us on this panel would have called for that. Your offensive line sucks that day. They've been struggling. Denver has a great defense. You're down 4 points. You've been playing pretty well. I mean, we had started to get some stuff moving, and then the double pass. Like, what the fuck was that? Oh, it worked in practice. Yeah, that's practice. Dumbass. Like hearing that, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Are we gonna roll with this guy another year? I've been saying it since he was hired. I was like, this guy's he's not good, and it's not good.
I mean,
I
agree. I agree with you. Like Jonathan Taylor didn't lose the game. That was just a momentum shifter. That's all. Not scoring any more points after that. That's embarrassing.
I'm sorry. The Pittman fumble. The Pittman fumble was a few drives after that, and then it was the fumble return touchdown. But we were still down 4. I apologize. Yeah. Continue.
But Steichen was definitely a placeholder. It seemed like he didn't really have the resume we needed.
Just coming into this game, though, I think I would go as far as to say I think Tanner Bortolini had outplayed Ryan Kelly. I would make that argument. I don't think it made any sense starting Danny Piner at center over Tanner. Makes no fucking sense. I lost count of how many penalties he had in this game. I think it was like 3 holdings. I think it was a false start in there too or some shit. But it was bad. Like, it was really, really not good. And to keep Hinder out there when he's clearly struggling over someone that hadn't really in Tanner, it made no sense to me. Like, that was the first just, what the fuck are you doing, Shane? Why would you have like your third string over Tanner? It made no sense. Yeah. It was retarded. But
signs of a poorly coached team are unforced errors. The Taylor fumble, like, say what you want, that's an unforced error. And clearly something is not being beat into their heads out there. I don't know what it is. I'm not in the building. I don't know what it is. The double pass, like getting way too cute, poorly coached team, penalties, and really bad special teams play. And we were getting torched on special teams.
Yeah.
It was I think Steichen's focusing more on trying to be their buddy and their friend instead of being their coach and holding them accountable.
He should have ripped Taylor a new one, but he should have sent him back out there the next drive and said, go fucking fix it.
Yes. Because, I mean, it wouldn't be smart to take one of, if not your best player on the team off the field when you're still trying to win the game, right? I get it when you want to punish them, like show them but that's where you have to have that coach talk. Every one of us who's ever played, they know that coach talk when they come and you're about to get your ass ringed out. And, I don't think Steichen has that respect from the guys like that. He just doesn't seem like like Mike Tomlin. When Mike Tomlin walks up, you're like, shit.
His eyes are bulging out of his head.
Yes.
You feel like they can touch you.
Yeah, this is not about to be good. But when Shane's walking up, you're like, oh, what's up, bro? Like,
he literally said in his press conference, he was like, yeah, Taylor came up to me and said, I got you, coach. Like, I got you. I was like, that's it? That's all you said? That's the whole interaction.
No. See, when you're in this position, you understand that the people you're coaching are millionaires. Like Jonathan Taylor, $14 million a year. How do you get these grown-ass men who make multi-million-dollar contracts, how do you get them to listen to you as a coach? And if you have that mindset as a head coach in the NFL and you feel like you have to walk on fucking eggshells with these guys, well, I don't want them to quit. I don't want them to whatever. If you have to walk on eggshells and you can't rip into someone's ass for something like that, then you're not a head coach. Like, if you can't lay into them and go, what the fuck? Like, this should have been on the camera and go, what the fuck was that? Like, if you can't read his lips.
Where's Cooter?
Right.
I need Jim Bob Cooter ripping into someone.
Yeah, the commentators need to be saying, like, oh, you can tell what he's saying right there. Like, that's what you need in that situation.
Yeah, and we just don't see it. Like, we've had these actionless head coaches, Chuck Pagano, chopping wood, Frank Reich. I don't remember what his MO or slogan was, but it's the same shit.
Next man up.
It's the same Next man up. It's the same mundane fucking press conference, the same just on the sideline when something doesn't go right. At least Pagano clapped when it went wrong, but it's
I was going to reference the Jason Garrett typical.
Yeah, I clapped and it didn't work.
Get me Mike Vrabel. Dude, bring me Mike Vrabel. I need Mike Vrabel injected into my veins.
Oh, yeah, dude. You imagine that energy? That's that Dan Campbell energy right there.
Yeah.
Like, with Ben Johnson, that's going to be electrifying. But with Mike Vrabel, the players are going to be, they're going to be electrified because that energy that he's going to bring. Oh, man.
That's the thing that we need to talk about. Like, there's going to be obviously some head coaching vacancies. Hopefully the Colts are one of them. And hopefully the GM vacancy. We've talked about it. I don't see in this situation how Ballard keeps his job. I think he dug his grave, I guess.
With his guys.
When he said, if this roster gets me fired, then so be it. Well,
start with the Chinese, buddy.
And like, I don't see how. What is it? 8 years now of Ballard.
I think he came in 17.
So 7 years.
Been a while, yeah.
I don't see how in 7 years you have one playoff wild card victory, and after a season where you almost went into the playoffs, how you shift. They ran it back. There was no excuse for them to be worse this year than last year. Ran it back. You're worse this year. Yeah. You've underperformed in every game, and now, like, I don't see how he keeps his job. I really don't. And then you have to start talking about, okay, is this going to be a complete tear down rebuild again? And right now I'm like, yeah, we've got pieces, but
yeah, I don't think it needs to be a complete rebuild. I mean,
well,
maybe a refresh, but not a rebuild. Exactly.
Well, I mean,
that was the thing going in this year that everybody was talking. Every network, every podcast was like, the Colts have a roster. The Colts is, but we can have all the talent in the world, but if the coaching is not going to support that and the play calling is not going to support that, because a coach's job is to get a player where they can't get themselves, right? Put a player in the best position to win. This coaching staff, not all the coaching staff, the play callers are not putting the players in the best position to win. They're not calling the plays they need to call against the right coverages.
Yeah.
And it's hurting us because we're wasting valuable time. You paid Pittman, you paid JT, you got a freaking quarterback on a rookie deal that you're wasting. You got Josh Downs still on a rookie deal about to get paid. Give that man a reason to stay. Call some plays that are going to excite the team, excite the fans, man. Because right now, Shane Steichen, bro, you're gone. You've done nothing to let any management or any fan think that, oh, you deserve to be here. Bro, you are done. You have just killed our season. This is the second year in a row that we've had much promise, and you've squandered it. So I've got no love for Shane Steichen. He can leave.
When they ran the double pass, my dad's sitting there, and he's like, why, of all plays, like if you wanted to do a trick play, run a fucking flea flicker with Jonathan Taylor. Anything else than a play that takes 5 seconds to develop in the backfield. And it was so funny. Like, you just saw what's his name. What was the Broncos player's name? He's fucking amazing. Benito, something like that. You could just see him, like, he was just, oh, look at this fucking, it was like a buffet. It was like a fat guy in a buffet.
He's like, oh, yes.
I felt like he was just like running in slow motion, just being like, are they really going to fucking do this?
Oh, God,
are they going to give this to me? And he's just like, okay, I'll take it. And he goes. And then he grabs his dick and gets a fucking penalty, which that's stupid. I love that celebration.
I don't care. It's Marshawn Lynch-esque. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
But, like,
I approve it.
So, like, what I was saying, it's like, just from like a managerial structure, it needs to be torn down. Like, yeah, Ballard can draft, but I think he whiffed a lot in this last draft. Like, his strong suit was drafting, and I'm like, in this one, okay, Latu, I like the pick, but for a rookie, it's been kind of
shocked, though. I feel like that was the pick.
Underwhelming. Most of his mid to late round picks are gone.
Yeah.
Like, so this last draft was kind of a disaster for him, and he did nothing in free agency, which he never does. Build through the draft. Well, your draft was kind of shitty too, dude. Like,
yeah, I'd like to see what Reggie Wayne can do with one more year of AD Mitchell, because he had a lot of drops, man, but that's something that can be fixed. So he's got speed, he's got route running.
Not drop it.
No, it's year one. You can figure that shit out.
The thing is with AD Mitchell that I'm seeing. Yeah, exactly. He was like, oh, he can't get separation.
Yeah.
Well, what now? Right.
I mean, the preseason, they were talking about he can't handle like the spin of the football or something. They were like, oh, he can't. He was dropping them in the preseason all the time, and then he just turned the gas on. I mean, I wouldn't give up on this kid.
I'm not saying to give up on him. I'm just saying, like, if you look at how these rookies have performed this year, it's underwhelming. It is. It really is. It's like you can't really make a defense for any of the.
Where they come out,
I was high up on him. Yeah. And they barely even used him in the return game. Like, he did have a good
return. And that was supposed to be his thing. Is like, Anthony Gould is going to be our return specialist, and you've been Ashton
Doolin and like Downs. I think have been like our special teamers.
Yeah, Downs should not. I feel like he should not be returning. What?
He was.
What?
Like, Gould, you've got Gould on the roster. Use him for that. You know, I mean, we've got a very loaded wide receiver room. So when it comes to AD Mitchell specifically. That's the reason why I'm kind of giving him a little bit of grace on that, is because Alec Pierce has stepped up in a huge way, and Josh Downs has stepped up in a huge way, and Pittman is Pittman. So, like, you've got your 3 starters. You don't need AD Mitchell to go out there and be a star just yet, you know, because we need to see what Josh Downs is going to do. If he leaves, then okay, AD, man, it's your time. But I think Reggie Wayne needs to get with AD in the offseason and say, hey, young buck, come on, let me teach you what I know. I mean, that's why you have a future Hall of Famer there. So
I
if
feel
I'm
like he
Shane
should be,
Steichen,
like-
I'm like, hey, Reg, I need you to work with that guy, man, a little more.
Peyton was at the game on Sunday, so that maybe that was a little bit of a hey, come, we're looking for a head coach. Maybe come be OC.
Peyton, please.
Get Vrabes over there, your old
GM,
rival
I
in
don't
New
give a shit.
England. GM.
There you go. Special
Recruit
advisor,
Vrabel.
what's his name was, in Denver, Elway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I would eat that up.
To
Probably
say
not.
no,
You don't wanna
don't
do
do
this
that. I would hire this guy. Even if he has a lesser resume, Peyton just got that mind, man. He sees people and he
Knows the
sees
game.
potential, right? So when he's talking to somebody, he can listen and be like, this guy knows it, as opposed to a Mike McCarthy over here who's full of hot air, who sucks at his job, who only won a Super Bowl because of his roster, not because of his coaching.
Yeah.
Mike McCarthy, you are an Indianapolis Colt.
Oh, Jesus.
Stop putting that voodoo out there, bro.
And
I do want to say on the receiver thing as well, it has to be said that they have not had the best quarterback play either.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a fair point.
If we're being fair, yeah.
when he's had a good game, they haven't come through for him. And when he's had a bad game, I mean, yeah.
Let's say you're a receiver and your quarterback is wildly inaccurate. You're expecting to have to make an adjustment to make a play on the football versus having average quarterback play. You're expecting it to hit you in the hands. So that I think there's probably an aspect to that of like, these guys aren't expecting the ball to hit them in the hands. So when it does, they aren't ready for it. And that's a problem. And that is on Richardson and his accuracy.
I wonder if that's got a lot to do with how much time Richardson has missed. There's no relationship built there. I mean, it's not like they've had an off season to go on vacations together and this and that to like build that camaraderie or have all those reps in the off season to say, okay, when you do this route and I see you bob your head this way, I know what you're going to do. They're not there yet. So maybe, like I said, maybe because we established this like a month ago that we're not going to give up on Richardson in this season, right? Because we agreed that we're counting this as his rookie year, right? So if we're counting this as his rookie year, we have to give him some grace and give him at least one more year to see, okay, because we've seen what he can do. We've seen his highs, we've seen his lows, right? So where's he going to land? Where's his floor going to be? And then we got to go from there and then say, okay, can this guy be our 7-year guy? Is he just another 3-year guy? What is this guy?
Mm-hmm.
I think by the end of next season, we'll see, and the franchise should know what direction they want to go in with the quarterback position. But I like what I'm seeing from Richardson as a runner. He's being very cautious when he's running. He's not taking unnecessary hits. The hits he is dealing out, he understands he can win that battle. I mean, he's being really smart with the football, and he's making us more competitive with his legs. So I think his
passes have improved too. I feel like maybe the numbers haven't shown it, but I think what you see from him, that first drive, he was fucking tearing them a new asshole. Like he was dinking, he was everywhere. It was like, oh my God, this guy, who is this guy?
He was just playing, no playing. He just went out there and said, fuck it, man. And I think even Richardson operates better that way.
His 2 interceptions, one of them was late in the game. So like, I'm not even counting that. He only had 1 interception. He did have one horrible pass. It was I think it was a down. He thought it was going to be an out route and Downs cut in. I don't know if you remember that. And he just
yeah.
It was, my dad was just like, what the fuck? He just started like laughing. He was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Even the pass where Pittman fumbled, that was a good fucking play. Like he got out of danger. He was getting tackled and he still delivered it right to Pittman.
I think he just got punched out.
It was just a great hit by the defender. Like that's really what it was. Yeah. So it was a good play by AR though.
Richardson still needs to protect the football though, especially in the pocket. He's doing too much of this, holding it out. But when there's 3 guys coming in on you, you just tuck that thing and go down. I know you're big, dude, but the amount of times that he'll fight off a defender and fight and fight and fight.
Oh,
because you can't do that in the league. You can do that in college. You can't do that here.
He's got to learn to go down because 1, he could get hurt again. That's a very real possibility. 2, he could fucking fumble. Like especially if you're holding it out here, he's got another hand here, or like one guy like wrapped and he's like that. It's crazy impressive to see what he can do, but it's not smart. It's
Well, I
not.
think that shows his
Like,
strength.
you saw that I can't remember the defender's name. He's a really good player for Denver. I can't remember his name, but he was on a play. He had Anthony Richardson dead to rights. Anthony Richardson threw him off, ran away, was about to get sacked again, still threw the football, and the guy had to come out of the game. He was like, man, this is bullshit. And he's like taking a swig of water. Like, this is like he's laughing about it because like I had him twice. I don't know how he got away. That's the shit that he just brings to the table.
Yeah, and those are the things that we need to see. Okay, is it worth building around that, or do we need to look somewhere else? Because we know we're stuck with Richardson. I mean, we're stuck with Taylor, right? Which I'm not saying that's a bad thing, right? He would have had a spectacular day if he wouldn't have, dropped the ball half a yard short. And we're happy to be stuck with Pittman. I hope we're stuck with Downs. Please stay Downs. And on defense, we're good on that right now. We'll work on the secondary in the draft. Hopefully, if Ballard stays around, he can be a little bit better in the draft.
I don't want him to. Like, not even if Ballard stays around. No.
It's time.
It's time. It was probably time.
The only way Ballard saves his job is if he takes Steichen's job away from him. I think that's the only way Ballard stays around and says, "Hey, Jim, I'm fixing our problem here, getting Steichen out of here."
I don't even know if that's enough anymore.
Steichen
you know how Jim is. You know Jim. He gets hopped up a little bit. I'm sure watching that, especially against Denver. I think the Colts have a pretty deep history with the Broncos, and you don't want to lose that game, especially to the other horse team in the league. There's no other horse teams.
I mean, Irsay was around with the whole Elway debacle. So, yeah, there's a little bit of bad blood with that franchise. Plus, Peyton going there. So,
and Peyton clearly loves them more. He clearly loves them more.
Irsay do a couple rails and gets to cooking, baby.
I'm seriously worried that they are going to drag their feet on this because they dragged their feet with Reich. He should have been fired. I mean, I think he should have been fired after losing the Buffalo game, the playoff game, because he went for it a few times, like on the goal line when we should have kicked it, and we could have won that game if he would have taken the points. I understand them sticking with him. He made the playoffs. Yeah. But then after Jacksonville, there's no reason he should have had a job, and they were still like, nope, we're sticking with him. We're sticking with him. No, that's not.
And let me ask you something. If Jim or if Ballard cleans house right now, not cleans house, but let's say Ballard says, all right, Steichen, you're out tomorrow, right? We wake up tomorrow and all our phones go off, say, all right, Steichen out as Colts head coach. Do you think he's dumb enough to put Bradley as head coach since he technically has head coach?
I need a Cooter. I need Cooter as the head coach.
Yeah, hold on. Do we not remember what Cooter did in Detroit?
Hold on.
I do not remember.
That offense was phenomenal.
Yes, Mr. Saturday. What are you doing? What are you doing this Sunday, Mr. Saturday?
High school football's over. Jeff should be available.
You want to be interim again?
Coaching high school football? I don't even know.
Yeah, no.
Maybe he's commentating somewhere. I think he's commentating somewhere, isn't he?
Yeah.
No, he's at ESPN.
Is he? Okay, yeah. So he's on the mic somewhere.
We gotta and Gus Bradley. Let's just this Colts defense played really well, and it was more of. I'm not even gonna say that it was great, secondary. They had 3 interceptions, but it was really just Bo Nix sailing passes. This wasn't really really good coverage interceptions. This wasn't because by virtue of a blitz that he threw a hurried pass. It was just mistakes. There was one where he was about to pick up a 3rd down, and Grover Stewart just happened to knock it down with his, baseball mitt. And the guy was wide open for the 1st down. There was no one around him.
Yeah.
It just, Grover just made a play. So it's not like the secondary was just lights out. It was just Bo Nix just had a bad game. And again, our special teams and our offense just gave them short fields that they could score on. So it's not like Denver was really cooking.
No,
they never really got anything going.
They held the running backs to 49 total yards.
Yeah.
I mean, they killed it. I think their total offensive yards was 197.
Let me see.
So our defense killed it, man.
No, yeah. We even won the time of possession, which is something the Colts have never done this year.
Yeah. JT had 22 carries for 107 yards. Could have been more, but we've already talked about that. But the defense, oh my God, the defense, you're absolutely correct, Jeff. They played lights out. It just turnovers, man. Was it 5 turnovers? And then our penalties always set us up in bad positions. We had 8 penalties or something like that. I mean, you're not going to win games like that, especially with the
and
5 turnovers.
I don't even want to say that this was Gus Bradley's scheme as to why the defense played so well. Like I said, it was just Bo Nix throwing bad passes. It was, we expect our front four to be good, and Buckner and Grover were.
Yeah.
Jalen Jones, Womack, they were in the right, and Nick Cross, right place, right. He actually did make a good jump on that one.
They held the receivers
I'll give credit to Nick
too.
Cross on that one. That was good stuff. But like Gus Bradley was still doing the same fucking thing he's done all year, which is rush for.
Oh yeah,
I'm fucking over it, man. I've been over Gus Bradley. I didn't even want him here this year.
Well, I think there's a lot of people. You're not alone on that. There's a lot of people that are not on board with Gus Bradley and haven't been, just because we've already seen what Gus Bradley is. All right, we're not going to expect any sort of renewed or reinvented Gus Bradley. No one's expecting that, and I don't think we're ever going to see that. That old dog is not going to learn any new tricks. All right, so
I'm sick and tired of bend but don't break, dude.
Right. Come on,
that is the biggest pussy defense. Get beat. I would rather you guys get beat just going after them.
Just pray that the quarterback throws it directly to one of our corners.
I had my old high school coach. He would always tell us, he's like, look, I don't care if you make a mistake, but make a mistake going 100 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
At least you're going all out.
Yeah. And that was the issue with a lot of the corners that we've had. I think Jalen Jones just play hard most of the time, and I even think Womack's been playing pretty hard. I mean, he came up from the practice squad, knowing he probably wasn't coming into this season thinking he was going to be the number 2 corner. And it hasn't been great, but he plays hard. And we had a lot of corners that were just, if they got beat, they just kind of gave up on it. Oh, he got the ball. I'm not really trying to tackle him now.
Yeah.
If you're going to get beat, at least finish the play. And that's the kind of stuff that I miss from Juju Brents. He got beat. I can't remember. I think it was last year. He got beat, but chased the guy down, made a fumble, and then basically turned the tide of that game. I can't remember who the opponent was, but he caused a fumble, and it just kind of changed the entire. I think it might have been Baltimore. But yeah, it just kind of turned the complexion of that game after he did that. So like you were saying, it's just, if you're going to get beat, but do it at 100%.
Right. Yeah. Be going full speed, max effort,
Yeah.
I mean, totally. I mean, and our defense didn't. I mean, EJ Speed had a hell of a game, but it just sucks that the defense wasn't getting any help on the other side of the ball. I mean, they got 3 picks, dude. I mean, when you intercept the ball 3 times, that your team. That football game. Yeah, dude. Fuck.
Yeah, this is pretty embarrassing.
That's why we actually had better time of possession as well. I know that's because at the end of the game that helped, but
I mean, on paper, you look at it. We had over 100-yard rusher, which could have been more. We had 60-yard receiver. They didn't have anything close to that. Their leading rusher was Jaleel McLaughlin for 21 yards, and Cortland Sutton 32 receiving yards.
Bo Nix was our leading rusher.
Yeah.
And Bo McLaughlin left the game.
Just like we talked about on the preview show, Bo Nix is that offense.
Yeah.
But they didn't win because of their offense. I just want to be clear about that. They didn't win because of their offense. They won because Marvin Mims had 97 return yards and put them in great position. And we had 8 penalties, which put us in bad position and helped their defense. And we had 5 turnovers. That's why they won, because we made mistakes and Marvin Mims put them in good positions to win.
No. And I guess that's a good segue into, and I said I was kind of touching on it before. As far as head coaching jobs go, there's going to be several of them. The most, I guess, I don't know. I guess most intriguing. I don't know if you can say Jacksonville. We know that coaching staff isn't going to be there, but any head coach is going to come in knowing that they're basically handcuffed to Trevor Lawrence and his massive contract that he signed.
Mm-hmm.
He has a no trade clause in it, if I'm not mistaken. So they're like, whoever their head coach is that comes in is going to be kind of handcuffed to him. And whether you would see that as a blessing or a curse is, just depending on, can he ever really turn in like an MVP, carry the team on his back? Like these are the things
Trevor
that,
Lawrence,
that a
you
head
mean?
coaching like is that. And I think we can all agree that Ben Johnson is one of, if not the top head coaching candidates going into next year, if he wants to leave Detroit. So he's probably going to be one of the most sought after. Do you think he'd be more attracted in a team like Jacksonville with Trevor Lawrence, or do you think he'd be more attractive in a team with the Colts with someone like Anthony Richardson on a rookie deal? Like what do you think would be the better, I guess, situation for him to come into and be a head coach with?
There's head coaches that want to go to Jacksonville.
I didn't think so. That's what I'm saying. But
I mean, I'm actually like kind of not kidding because like they have trouble signing players. Players don't want to go there.
There's a reason why they have to overpay players to come there.
Yeah.
I mean, do we not remember the Christian Kirk deal?
Yeah.
There's a reason why he made that money. Not because he was worth it, but because they didn't have no choice but to pay up. And they got a mediocre wide receiver for that money.
I get there's only 32 head coaching jobs, so of course. But if you're like the number 1 or 2 guy out there, like you're not going to Jacksonville. I feel like Chicago would probably be a better situation for Ben Johnson. Like you get Caleb Williams, you get
talent,
potent a lot of weapons on offense, a defense that's getting better, and then just a shitty offensive line.
I don't see how any coach wouldn't be knocking down the door to take a pay cut to come to Indianapolis. I mean, you're playing in a dome, right?
That's nice.
I mean, come on.
Well, I don't know. I actually don't know if that's good because we've been hindered when we have to go and play outdoors. We struggle. There's no home field advantage for us. I feel in comparison. Like if we go to play Buffalo, we're losing that game in the snow most of the time. I
think a lot of people are struggling when they play Buffalo. That's like a different world. That and Green Bay.
That's crazy. That's like insane. That's Alaska.
And Denver because of the altitude. But yeah, like Buffalo and Green Bay in the wintertime, nobody's got an advantage there except Buffalo and Green Bay.
Yeah.
But man, the culture is sexy when it comes to coaches. Because I mean, look what we have. You've got some coaches on the staff. Like if you can keep Jim Bob Cooter, fine, right? Ben Johnson, of course, let's just say, for instance, right?
Just Reggie.
Yeah, Reggie, right? No, I like Jim Bob Cooter, man. Like I do. I don't think it's because he's not calling the plays. I'm 100% he's not calling the plays.
Yeah.
Normally, former offensive coordinators, when they become head coaches, they call the offensive plays. That's just how it goes because that's an ego, right? But we talked about last show, as a head coach, that's not your job anymore. Your job is to coach the coaches, and the coaches coach the players. Just like in the military, there's a hierarchy, right? A lower enlisted will never interact with an upper officer. That doesn't work that way, right? You think Jim Irsay is out there coaching players? Nah, bro, he ain't doing that. He's doing
20 years ago. He might have been. He might have been pulling Peyton into his office and being like, "So what'd you see here?"
Well, just because he wanted to keep Peyton on his good side. But I don't know. I think the Colts are a sexy team to come to. Like any coach, Mike Vrabel, I love that because our offense, we've got the players already that he can get somebody. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Jim Bob Cooter stays for that, something like that. But anyways, Mike Vrabel would focus on our defense, and since that seems to be our weak spot on the secondary, being a former Super Bowl winning linebacker coming from that Bill Belichick coaching tree, the man knows a little something about defenses. Okay. So I think our defense will be solid, but it just depends on who is coming and who they bring with them. Right.
Here's a really crazy thought. So I don't know if you guys have seen anything about Bill at North Carolina because he has a $1 million buyout.
That's
Bill
it.
Belichick in Indianapolis.
Oh no!
Imagine.
No.
Imagine the chaos.
No.
That would be insane. That would be crazy. That's Aaron Rodgers going to play for the Bears.
Man. After saying I own you. Oh my God. Imagine the chaos.
Because they're thinking that he's going to try and go find another job in the NFL, and he just has North Carolina as like a backup if he can't get one in the offseason. Yeah.
I mean, you got to stay fresh. To stay fresh.
Can you imagine him in like that cut off hoodie that just has the Colts logo on it? Oh, that would be weird. That would be disgusting.
At least
Why am I thinking about that?
You should do like the throwback where it's the like the bucking horse.
Oh, I love that. That's my favorite.
That's a very Bill.
The sleeveless sweater of the.
That's a very Bill thing, yeah.
Imagine him wearing like a Manning jersey. I was just thinking the other day. I was just thinking about like what was that building like when Manning and Irsay were in there? How many text messages or phone calls do you think Peyton Manning did not return that Jim Irsay would make? Like he's calling up Peyton at like 9 o'clock on a Saturday. He's like, "Hey, I'd love to get you out, to the bar. Let's go hang out." And Peyton's just like, "I'm gonna screen it. I'm not looking at
Send
that."
it to voicemail.
It's just my boss.
Yeah, right. Oh, Bill would totally do that. Yeah, you ain't freaking. Bill does what he wants. I don't know if Jim could be able to do that, be able to give up the reins like that, and just let Bill do everything. I don't know if at this point though, Bill wants to be a GM though. I think wants to do just the coaching part of it.
Yeah,
because he did the GM,
Braves
so that's just a lot of extra crap. Yeah. And that's fine. I mean, Vrabel learned. He learned from Bill. I don't think Bill was a bad GM. I mean, he found rare talent. He found talent where nobody was looking. I mean,
except where they were a little whitewashed. He couldn't find it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Like, bro, come on. Like, what was a kid? Freaking the big receiver that they took that was a huge bust. Because I drafted him like with the 3rd overall pick in my dynasty league, and I looked like a donkey. But I held him for 2 years. I was like, this kid's gonna not be great, so let me get rid of him for literally anything I can get. Cold Stone ice cream, Subway sandwich, whatever. I was trying to give him away, but but I don't know. They found like weird stuff, like Jacoby Myers, Yeah. But then again, maybe that was the offense. I don't know. That's definitely gonna fill up a lot of time in future episodes about the offseason.
Yeah.
As soon as we get that message, hey, Shane Steichen's out, I mean, I'll be ready to record. You just hit my phone and I'll be there.
Yeah, this has definitely been a disappointing season, and this game kind of just
was it N'Keal Harry?
Yes, it was N'Keal Harry.
Yes.
That's exactly who it was.
So this is definitely a game to forget.
Yeah.
And I went into this, I was super excited. I'm like, man, they could actually get never mind. This is a team that clearly didn't deserve to be anywhere near the playoff picture, and it's even at 6-8, they're probably going to be picking in the top 10, 15 if
at this rate. Yeah.
I
mean, I know you want to go out there and you want to beat a team like Tennessee next week. It's a division game, all stuff like that, but I don't really give a crap if we win or not. I don't give a crap if we win any game the rest of the year, because like you said, man, we're playing for a draft pick now. We're trying to win the draft.
Yeah, I highly doubt that the Chargers are going to lose 2 of their next 3. I highly doubt that the Colts are going to win the next 3. And it might be in true like Indianapolis fashion where they win the next 2, go 8-8, and the Chargers, they flop like we were hoping that they would, and then we lose to Jacksonville, and it all didn't matter anyway.
Chargers are going to be without Quentin Johnston and Justin Herbert, and then J.K. Dobbins is on IR. So the Chargers are not going to do well.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like the Chargers might do what we want them to, and then we just lose to Jacksonville.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, at this point, I don't want to make the playoffs because I don't feel like we have a chance. We have a snowball's chance in hell of competing in the playoffs with the way the team is going now. Not the talent we have. I'm not saying that. With the way the plays that are being called and the schemes that are being drawn up on defense.
If we make the playoffs, I think that buys Shane Steichen 2 more years.
Yeah, we don't need that.
I'm not kidding. Like I don't even think it buys him 1 year. I think it buys him 2.
Yeah. I mean, it gives us good content, but I'd rather have wins than content.
Because we're gonna get shit pumped in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What do you say, Jeff? Dog walked?
Yeah, dog walked. Yeah, I like even Colts fans. Yeah, we're tired of the playoff drought. We're tired of not seeing it. But at the same time, this is not a team even Colts fans want to see in the postseason. Like this, after a game like this for a Broncos team that was just kind of on that cusp, like if they lose to the Colts, the whole playoff whatever shifts. Like the Broncos, they've been good lately, but they like this game they weren't good. Their offense was really bad, and like they beat the shit out of us just because of offensive mistakes and stalling out and special teams. Like
this was who wanted to lose more.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Yeah.
who wanted to lose?
You're right. Denver needed to lose. They should have lost. There's no. It's just aggravating because this team played like dog crap.
Like this, the Colts had this game through like pretty much up until that Taylor fumble, and like you guys said, like he's not the only reason that they lost. It was just that momentum shift, but like after that, it's like since Shane Steichen, I think, didn't do what was necessary with Taylor, whether that's rip him a new ass, do whatever. It just seemed like he lost the offense. Like he just, it's like even the throw from Adonai Mitchell was just so no effort, no nothing. Like I'm just throwing the ball because I was told to. Yeah,
lobbed it in there.
Yeah, there's just no sense of urgency. There was no it's hard to say that he lost the locker room, but he at least felt like he lost the offense. Like there's just no care in the world after that happened.
Yeah.
So bye.
Yeah, and especially if you lose to Tennessee, like if you lose to Tennessee, one of the worst teams in the league, absolutely, there's no argument. There is no logical argument for Shane Steichen to keep his job.
No, Ballard, Steichen, they
Bradley, they can both go.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
But they like the guys they have.
We're happy with the guys we've got.
They're happy with the guys they have.
Yeah, your record's not happy with the guys you got.
No one's happy about it, but you guys.
Yeah,
I want to be in that room with Jim. I want to be in that room like after the game, whatever room, maybe on the private plane. I want to be in there with them. I want to hear what Jim has to say. Because I wish I could get unfiltered Jim.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't like losing to Tennessee.
No.
It's very well documented that of all the games that he doesn't want to lose to, it's Tennessee.
Yeah.
I don't know what his
was
hatred
it last
is
year, right?
Tennessee,
We lost one. Did we lose one big to No, we swept them last year, right?
Yeah.
Or it was 2 years ago. I think we lost one, like the first one with Matt Ryan. We were horrible, and he was like, "Oh, this is horrible." He was like the most depressed person on the planet. It's hilarious.
I get it. You don't want to lose to the Titans. It was never the Titans. You don't want to lose to them. They suck.
I mean, maybe more of a reason to bring Mike Vrabel in for an interview.
Yeah.
Bring your enemy. Convert your enemy.
Yeah.
I mean, he fucking hates them. Like, he's not happy with how that went down. Because, I mean, they hired a yes man in Brian Callahan. Like, I don't know. He's just not. I mean, yeah, those Bengals offenses were good, but Zach Taylor was very involved in that.
It wasn't because of Callahan.
No. And they hired a guy that will just say, yeah, cool. Like, we'll sign whoever. We don't care.
Yeah.
Don't spend money.
And what's sad is guys get coaching jobs all the time off the coattails of other people when they didn't call one fucking play.
Yeah. But
so, give me Vrabes.
Yeah, Braves.
But I'm not getting my hopes up.
Hey, my top three: Ben Johnson, Mike Vrabel, Robert Saleh. Those are my top
Where's
three.
Mike
right
McCarthy
there.
in that list?
Shut up, dude! Don't say that.
Man, I'm about to just.
I know what the Colts
I'm not even going to say the goodbyes. If you say Mike McCarthy one more time, I'm going to end the stream.
We know what the Colts do. Like, we know they make the stupid decision. They say, "Oh, this guy's the seasoned veteran." Like, okay, he has been in the league for a long time.
Let's stop recycling this. Like, I think we talked about.
I can do it to you. Hold on,
just recycling the same coaches over and over again that have already proven they're not worth the crap.
I don't know if I can.
Let's end this cycle, right? Doug Peterson, Josh McDaniels, Mike McCarthy. Well, let's stop this cycle. You know.
If you say Mike McCarthy one more time.
I didn't say it.
I have so much power.
So I would assume Jonathan Gannon has won the competition between former Eagles coordinators.
Oh, Dennis Allen's another one on that list that has proven he sucks as a coach. Like, he should not get another coaching job.
If I have to look at Dennis Allen in a Colts uniform, I might jump off a bridge. I'm not.
I might. You know what? I'm not going to say that. I was going to say something really crazy, but I'm not going to say that.
I might jump off a bridge if I have to look at Dennis Allen. He is the most forgettable head coach in NFL history.
It's horrible.
I didn't even know when he got hired, and I didn't know when he got fired. He just, at one point, someone was like, "Hey, that's the Saints head coach." I was like, "Oh, really?" cool. And then one day someone was like, he's not the Saints head coach anymore. I was like, oh, okay, cool, whatever.
How about this one? Josh McDaniels.
Dude, hold on. I just had an idea.
We tried that experiment before, remember?
I just had an idea. John Gruden is very available.
I was thinking that. John Gruden. Give him
He just signed
chance,
a contract
man.
with Barstool Sports, and he's just doing football content. His brain is very fresh.
He's a quarterback guy.
Can Jim Irsay pull Roger Goodell aside and be like, listen, man, I know those emails weren't good.
Look,
whatever he said about you, I understand, but it's been a long time. And the Colts, listen, the NFL is better when the Colts are good. I know that's just the fans. That's a Colts fan saying that. But they got a lot of history.
Yeah.
Give me John Gruden. Give me Vrabel and John Gruden.
If there's a
Offensive and
coach
defensive
that can
coordinator,
develop
and
Anthony Richardson, it's John Gruden. John Gruden will be able to say, okay, this kid's an idiot or this kid's going to be something.
I think he
one
likes
that'll
him.
be able to tell you.
I think he likes him. I've heard him
Does
talk
he?
on their streams. I think he likes him.
Okay.
So that's encouraging.
I can honestly say I haven't listened to any John Gruden since he left the league.
Watch some of his videos on like TikTok or Instagram. They're fantastic. He goes through like Gruden's grinders.
I like grinders. Yeah.
Who he's feeling nicey about that week. Like he does like his son made a song for it. It's fucking amazing. Great football content. Fantastic.
I'm gonna check that out.
He just goes crazy too. He gets really angry. He gets like that. It's
very Gruden-like.
Very Gruden. Give me John Gruden on the Colts.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I guess we'll end it there with John Gruden to the Colts. It was another, it was a bad loss, but still 3 games to go, and we'll be here twice a week through all 3 of them, no matter how they go. Probably talking head coach, GM, and draft sprinkled in throughout it, going into the off season. But yeah, if you're still here, make sure you give us a like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. Head over to Kingmaker_DFF for Justin and all his dynasty fantasy football recommendations. Hit him up. Got any questions? It's crunch time for fantasy. So yeah, if you need help, he's your dude.
Let's win some championships.
Yes, sir. And Alex, chaotically intolerant, go over there, do the same, show some love.
For all your Chinese ping pong needs, he's got you covered.
Oh, yeah. And as always, head over to this AFC South Show, Curtis Podcast Network. Like, share, subscribe there as well. We appreciate all the support, all the back and forth interaction. We love it. We love talking football. So, but yeah, we'll be back either Friday or Saturday to talk about the upcoming game and how we think that one will go.
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Reluctantly, we'll be here. Just kidding. We love it. But yeah, until then, be good people. We'll see y'all then. Go Colts.
Sign up for the email list, chaoticallyintolerant.com.
Do it.
Yes.
Do it now.
Click all the buttons except for the dislike.
Yeah. All the ads that pop up, just click all the ads.